Hello, this is Don't Give a Damn Developer, the uncensored and uncut development. We're starting out focusing on AWS Serverless application model, SAM, particularly deployment, but in general, whatever we can discover. And again, the reason for this channel is because of the frustration of the crap that companies put out, and the developers are stuck as guinea pigs testing this crap out. And in some cases, yeah, maybe it's fun, but some of this stuff should, you know, uh, sit in the labs a little longer until they correct the issues. But Amazon has a lot to be desired when it comes to documentation. Some of their documentation is fine, but some of this stuff, when it comes down to details, and you really have to actually get something done, then you start to see the flaws and lack of thereof. But anyway, let's just go through and just deal with it. It is what it is. So here I'm using a Mac terminal, and mostly I use command line. The reason I use command line is because Amazon's console changed so often. I cannot keep track of every damn month there's a change in the UI. Back in the day, it used to be command line, and you learned on DOS or Unix or something, and you were working in the terminal or some type of command line. Even back in the OS2 days, command line. Then GUIs came out and supposedly made the world easier. But here's what I find. Initially, yes, but over time, it's gotten a lot worse because there's so many GUIs and they change so often you can no longer keep track. So the difference is commands may be cryptic, but once you learn them for, let's say, the last 30 years, how much have Unix commands changed versus how many GUI interface change have you had in the last 30 years? Probably 1,000, and it's impossible to keep up. Now, Amazon themselves will take the console, and each month, or to me, it looks like every other day, there's a new update, and they actually will make changes to text, labels, fields, that you must enter information in and change the label on them, and you have no idea from one change to the next what the hell it is. And the only way I could actually figure out some of the changes that were made is I had to use the command line and then go back into the console to see what it updated. And after that, that's how I realized, holy shit, these boneheads are not only changing the screen design, they're changing the label, text, header text, and there's no reference from one to the next. How in the hell would you know that? What asshole was allowed not to be released? You call it one thing on this version, the next release is a completely new name, and we're supposed to follow that shit. So again, I'm using the command line because it doesn't change that often, and I don't have time or patience to be screwed around every week with a new interface that I gotta learn chasing behind some asshole. So anyway, and I'm frustrated with that kind of crap, so that's why I don't give a damn anymore. So let's get started here. We're on a command line, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start off with this SAM, create an application, and go from there and build upon it. And I'll just go through the frustration of researching how to get shit done. Here we go. SAM. Let's look at the version of this. So this is, I don't know if it's the latest version or not, but it's a version. And I'm using AWS. See what version of that. Okay, I'm using 2.2.1. It's a later version. It's Python's installed, Darwin. Okay, and that's where we are. So let's do it. Let's start out with a basic hello world. So we can do that by typing SAM. In fact, let's just look at this shit from the beginning. SAM help. See if we can get some help here. Here we go. Okay. All right. Serverless model, application model, SAM, CLI. So, let's read it. The AWS Serverless Application Model extends AWS Cloud Formation to provide a simplified way of defining the Amazon API, Gateway APIs, AWS Lambda function, Amazon DynamoDB tables needed by your serverless application. You can find more in-depth guide about the SAM specification here. Okay, so this is GitHub. Okay, hey, that might be something useful. What the hell? Some useful information there. All right, so we'll keep track of this and always go to help. So the bottom line is, the serverless application model extends AWS Cloud Formation to provide a simplified way of defining the Amazon API Gateway APIs, AWS Lambda functions, and Amazon DynamoDB tables needed by your serverless application. Okay, that's a good start. That's what it does. So apparently you must know, should know, something about AWS Cloud Formation. That must be a damn prerequisite here. But all right, let's note. So we have options. We can debug, turn on debug logging to print debug message generated by SAM CLI. Okay, and display timestamps. So we have debug. We have show the version and exit each help. Okay. Let's go down here. We have these are our commands with SAM. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That right? I count that right. 3, 6, 8 commands here. Okay, shouldn't be damn impossible to learn this. And init. So your init and AWS SAM application. We can validate a SAM template, build your Lambda function code, run your serverless application locally for quick development. Okay. Package an AWS application, deploy an AWS SAM application, and fetch logs for a function. What the hell is that? Fetch logs for a function. What does that really mean? Fetch logs for a function. My question is, why the hell would I want to do that? But okay, maybe we'll figure it out at some point. Fetch logs for a function. Why? Publish. Publish a package AWS SAM template to AWS Serverless Application Repository. Okay, so that repository is Amazon's local, I guess, repository to store a bunch of their applications. Maybe we can share this with others. Okay, let's start out with Sam init. All right, Sam init. Let's see if we get help on this. Well, I'll be damned. Some actual help here. Okay, I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to say Sam help. I'm going to put this in, type it into less, so I can page back and forth and read the damn thing without it scrolling past me. Okay, here we go. This is better. I should be able to use page down, page up to scroll through the whole damn document. Okay. Initialize a serverless application from a SAM template folder structure for your Lambda function. Connect it to an event source such as API. Okay. S3 buckets or DynamoDB. Okay, so we can connect this function, your Lambda function, connected to event source such as an API, S3 bucket, or Dynamo table. Okay. This application includes everything you need to get started with serverless and eventually grow into a production scale application. This command can initialize a boilerplate application or serverless app. Okay. If you want to create your own template as well as use a custom location, please take a look at our official documentation. Okay. I guess this is not official documentation. What the hell is this? The hell, I'll tell you what, I looked at official documentation and sure as hell was lacking. So, what are they talking about? Let's see. Starts an interactive prompt process to initiate a new project. SAM init. Okay, initializes a SAM project using project template without an interactive workflow. Okay. SAM init name app. These are some damn options here. Runtime Node.js, dependency manager, blah blah. Okay. So it gets options. Initialize a new SAM project using custom template in a Git Mercurial repository. What the hell is Mercurial? How are you saying that right? Mercurial. Looks like it. I have no idea what the hell that is. I know what Git is, but what the fuck is Mercurial? Okay, we'll have to figure that one out too. GH. Alright. Being expanded to GitHub URL. Okay. The hell's that? I have no idea. Okay. Subnet location GH. Salmonet location. Alright, salmonet. There's a lot of salmonets here, and I have no damn idea what it is. Alright, so let's go down to options. Maybe one day soon we'll go through this shit and we'll learn. But I sure as hell don't see enough explanation to tell me what it is at this point. But this is just a man page, so. The environment name specifying the default, okay. Big file, this is, alright, we got a lot of options in here. I'm just scrolling through just to take a quick glance and see what the hell is here, but there are a lot of options. Okay, so let's click that, hit Q, and it takes me out of less. Let's just try it out and see what the hell happens. I mean, there's a lot here, so in order to actually learn all this, we actually have to go through all of these options and test them out, see what the hell they do. That's the only way to learn it. I don't see any other option. You're not going to learn it by just looking at it. That's for damn sure. Salmon net. Let's test it out. What the hell is it going to do? All right. There we go. It's going to ask us questions. Custom template location. Let's give it two. I don't have a custom template. AWS quick start templates. Let's take that. Number one. I'll hit one. All right. What package type would you like to use? Zip artifact is zip uploaded to S3. Okay. Image artifact is an image uploaded to an ECR image repository. Now, my question is, why the fuck do I care which is which? You know, what's the significant difference here? Okay, you upload it to S3 or upload it to an ECR image repository. ECR, I think that's the damn container uh, service of Amazon. So I have to double check that and confirm that. Maybe that's creating some type of container. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. Zip, we're going to zip up a package, I guess, to S3 to be deployed. So, okay, zip will go with. Sure as fuck I'm not creating a container, so I guess I won't go wrong, number one. Alright, which runtime would you like? Uh, Probably Node.js, or maybe Python. I don't know Python that well, so, but it's a good option. Ruby, I don't know, never used it. Go, I know, is used in the blockchain, but one, I assume sometime I'd like to learn that. Java, fuck Java. I don't want to work with Java. Keep that shit to somebody else. .NET Core. I have a big background in .NET, but I'd like to get away from Microsoft as fucking fast as I can. So fuck .NET Core. Let's see. Nodes. Alright, that's an older version. Another Python, Ruby, and Java. Okay, okay, so that's all that is. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go with Node. Number one. Let's go with Node 14. Alright, great. Project name. Okay, let's call this shit Hello World. Or no, let's call it. What the hell I want to call this fucker? Oh, shit. How about my app one? Fuck it. That should be simple enough. All right, so it's cloning of some template. what is this? It says AWS Quick Start Application Template. We got Hello World, Step Functions, Quick Start from scratch. Quick Start. What the fuck is Quick Start from scratch? I am supposed to understand what that shit means. Okay. Somebody help me with this one. Quick Start from scheduled events. Okay. I guess that's some kind of event scheduling tactic. Quick Start S3, SNS, SQS, web backend. Okay. But from scratch. Number three, if anybody has any fucking idea what that means, unless you have previous experience, let me know in the comments. But I can tell you, if you're a beginner, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Okay? This is the kind of dumb shit I get frustrated with. Don't give a damn. From scratch. Scratch or what? Kiss my ass. Alright, anyway, let's go with Hello World example. But fuck, you can't go wrong with Hello World. We've been doing Hello World since the dawn of fucking programming, so let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so what the fuck just happened here? Let's see. Alright, SAM CLI update available. Oh, the fucking update available, okay. I can go from my installed version, alright, to 1.127. Okay, so how the fuck do you install this bastard? Alright, so let's go back up and see what happened. Generating application. I missed it. I saw that stupid green message and missed what the fuck I was trying to do. Alright, let's see. Fucking name. Okay, am I at one? Node.js manager NPM dependency manager. Okay, that must be Node's package manager. Application template hello world alpha directory is fucking period. Dot. Okay, that's current directory. Okay, so it says next steps can be found in the README file at dot my at one README. Alright, generated a fucking README. Okay, great. And it has this fucking download serverless application. Okay. Node for guys, serverless SAM installed. Maybe that's. I would like to get that. Alright, how do you even preserve this damn thing? I have to copy this. Maybe I'll put it in the region file. Let's copy this thing. Pound or Command C. Okay, so let's go to the region file. Let's view it. I'll go. I'm using good old school VI. And we'll say my app readme. Okay, here we go. And you know what I can do? Oh, fucking readme. I can. I'm gonna just paste that right here. Be able to come back to it later. Okay. And I'm gonna save that file. I'll hit get out of the command input mode and just hit colon and write, and that saves the file. Okay, so this project contains source code and supporting files for a serverless application that you can deploy with this SAM CLI. It includes the following files and folders. I'm going to say one thing here. Let me make something really clear. I'm going through all of this shit in detail. One is because there's no way in hell you are going to learn and master serverless application model or any programming development, anything, unless you take the time to go through the details of reading all of this shit that is, you know, laid out in front of you. I see many examples out there, and you know, some of these folks will just go through these quick examples, or they'll just drop "Hello World" up and then slap it out there. Maybe it'll add a little detail, But I'm gonna assure you, yes, you see how that's done, but can you really then go and create your own application after watching that little bit of shit? And I think it's kind of impossible. So to me, if you really want to learn this, you have to go through every piece of text here, read this, try all these different options out until you understand exactly what's going on. Otherwise, you are a rookie. It's just that simple. So this may be slow and meticulous, but you know what? You're gonna learn what the fuck you are doing, and that's the only way. So bear with me on that. And I'm telling you like it is. I've been in this for more than 30 years. There's no shortcut. Okay, so let's look at this. Hello world, code for application lambda function, events, invocation events that you can use to invoke the function. So what the hell is all of this I'm looking at? This project contains source code and supporting files for a serverless application that you can deploy with SAM CLI. It includes the following files and folders. Okay, that's what that is. Following files in folders. Because I mean, I didn't know what the fuck we were looking at, but unfortunately, it explains it, and we need to be clear on what the hell we're looking at. Files and folders. It's explaining. Hello world. Code for the application lambda function. Events. Invocation events that you can use to invoke the function. Okay, so that's what will invoke the function, the hello world function above. Hello world tests are unit tests for the application code. Okay, I've seen those unit tests before, but I've never actually seen anybody use that shit. So I'm curious as how in the hell does it work? So we got some learning to do here. Template YAML, I'm familiar with that, and that's a template that defines the application's AWS resources. Very clear, but you have to understand what all this shit is. You cannot shortcut this. So we have to read it all. All right. The application uses several AWS resources, including Lambda function and an API gateway API. Okay. So the application uses several AWS resources, including Lambda functions and an API gateway API. Okay, very clear now. The resources are defined in the template YAML file. In this project, you can update the template and add AWS resources through the same deployment process that updates your application code. All right, let's make sure I understand what the fuck I just read. These resources are defined, okay, in the file, okay, in the template YAML file in this project. You can update the template to add AWS resources through the same deployment process that updates your application code. Okay, so that's the concept of infrastructure as code. You can use the template to add resources at the same time you're deploying your code, your application code. So you can make updates to both of them simultaneously. That's what that's really about. Okay. If you prefer to use an integrated development environment to build and test your application, you can use the AWS Toolkit. Okay, the AWS Toolkit is an open source plugin for popular IDEs that uses the SAM CLI to build and deploy serverless applications on AWS. The AWS Toolkit also adds a simplified step-through debugging experience for Lambda function code. Okay, so there's a simplified debugging experience. Okay, see the following needs to get started. I have README. Okay, that's not a showing that I saved it. Page down. Okay, so these are a list of links, user guides. Okay, all right. What else is in this file? Deploy sample application. Okay, serverless application model command line interfere. I mean, excuse me, interface. SAM CLI is an extension of the AWS CLI that adds functionality for building and testing Lambda applications. It uses Docker to run your function in an Amazon Linux environment that matches Lambda. Okay. It can also emulate your application's build environment and API. Okay, so the serverless application model command line interface, SAM CLI, is an extension of the AWS CLI and adds functionality for building and testing Lambda applications. It uses Docker to run your functions in an Amazon Linux environment that matches Lambda. Okay. And it can emulate your application's build environment and API. Okay, so we have this SAM CLI, which we're using, which is an extension of the AWS CLI, which we're using for building, testing web applications, and it uses Docker. So I guess it spins up Docker for us. And we don't, yeah, hopefully it's all configured without me having to do more. To use SAM CLI, you need the following tools. SAM CLI install. Now, obviously it was installed because I just hit this SAM init. So if you're telling me it needs to be installed, and we already installed it, otherwise I wouldn't be able to read this README. Unless this README is sitting on the GitHub, and something you read it before you initialize this damn thing. I guess that's their intention. Node.js, okay, that's old Node.js 10. I guess that's just 14, but whatever, that's fine. Docker. I don't have Docker installed on this machine, but uh, did it install it when I installed CLI or AWS? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. To build and deploy your application for the first time, run the following in your shell. Let's check that out. SAM build and SAM deploy guided. There you go. The first command will build the source of your application. The second command will package and deploy your application to AWS with a series of prompts. Okay? Stack name, the name of the stack and cloud formation. This should be unique to your account and region. And a good starting point would be something matching your project name. Okay? The region is the region, AWS region, your app, you want to deploy your app to, confirm changes before deploy.